Ruby Starr had an unforgettable voice that should have rocked the charts, yet somehow she didn't. She ended up becoming one of those very talented performers who never really did catch their break. But why? What happened to Ruby Starr? Follow us through this video as we reveal rare photos and the untold truths about the life of Ruby Starr. On the 30th of November 1949, a star was born in Toledo, Ohio. Ruby was born Constance Henrietta Mierzwiak. She grew up in a family of four: her father, Richard Joseph, better known as Dick, her mother, Henrietta, and two siblings, Richard Jr. and Suzanne Bonita. At age 10, she released her first record under the stage name Connie Little. On the top of a flatbed truck, Ruby, who was popularly known as Connie, kept the streets of Toledo vibrating with her beautiful vocals. Her mother said that Connie would sometimes perform at concession stands at local drive-in theaters to entertain people who went to see movies. Of course, with a life like this, it would be difficult to keep up with school. So at age 16, Ruby made the big decision to quit school to pursue the life of her dreams. Shortly after, she joined the country group Downtowners and the Blue Gamble Ramblers after that, and the future looked mighty green for the young singer. In 1969, Ruby joined the band Ruby Jones, which at that time was managed by Custom Records. Under them, she released her first album, Ruby Jones. It boosted Starr's career, but it only went as far as that. Ruby would then join the famous southern rock band Black Oak, Arkansas as a backup singer. It was there that she took up the name Ruby Starr. She toured with the band during their heyday, and it was one of the singer's most successful collaborations. In 1975, Ruby tried to form her band, but unfortunately, she couldn't keep it all together. That same year, she released another album titled Scene Stealer, which flaunted her incredible vocals and stage presence. The 70s marked the peak of her career, but by the late 80s, Ruby had lost her voice in the musical world. One thing was very peculiar, though. Starr had the talent and the personality to take over the world, but for some reason, she never made it to the big list. Why? Why did she end up spending her last days playing for local clubs and casinos? Ruby Starr was a ball of red fire on stage. She had vocals like you've never heard before and unmatched onstage energy. She connected so naturally with her audience, which is why it continues to be a wonder to see the way her career crashed. Starr got the most of her recognition performing with Black Oak, Arkansas, and a favorite memory of this was when she was featured in their 1973 hit song, Jim Dandy. Her voice was a breath of fresh air, and she was just the missing piece in the group. She had inspired old Jim Dandy after he heard her sing in a club, which was why he asked her to join his band at that very spot. Another incredible thing that this American singer did, which no one probably remembers, was when she opened the stage in 1976 for the legendary US rock band Black Sabbath. As usual, Ruby didn't fail to impress as she gave everyone a night to remember. But as it would seem, this fame faded as soon as she got off stage. The next thing Ruby tried to do after this was to form her own band. She named it Ruby Starr and the Gray Ghost. They released an eponymous album in 1975, but I think you will remember her second album better, Scene Stealer, which was released in 1976. Anyway, she still maintained affiliations with the Black Sabbath and Black Oak, Arkansas, even as she was trying to work for her band. Her last album for her recording studio was Smoky Places, released in 1977. Starr formed another band in 1980, the Gray Starr, and they did a few great songs, including the 1981's Gray Starr and 1983's Telephone Sax. That same year, Starr got into the acting industry. She was featured in the 1989 comedy film Roadie alongside Meatloaf and Alice Cooper. Her character was a rock singer named Ruby. In the early 90s, Ruby decided to give up the road life for a much more peaceful life in Las Vegas. She still tried to keep the spark alive by performing in local hotels and casinos. But it won't be long now before medical reports present the singer with terrifying news. She had just been contracted for the Country Legends show at the Aladdin Hotels in Las Vegas, but Ruby decided to check in with the hospital first. She had been having terrible headaches for the past weeks, and the medical diagnosis would reveal that she has lung cancer and a brain tumor. Seeing that her days were numbered, Ruby Starr returned to her family in Toledo, where she died on January 14, 1995, aged 45. Her mother said that her deepest regret was that Ruby was not able to sustain the fame she found with Black Oak, Arkansas in the 1970s. She described Starr as a vivacious woman who loved music and life on the road. In her obituary, she wrote, "No matter how much she traveled, and no matter where her life had taken her, she never forgot home and where home was. And in the end, she came home when the song of her life ended." Ruby Starr is long gone since 1995, but the singer definitely gave her world a voice to remember. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other videos at the end screen of many other beautiful actresses and singers from the yesteryears.